for enlightening with so much of positive information. So we know what Pride Month is, how it started, what inclusivity truly should look like, what should we do to make someone feel that they are not different. Okay, so from your immense experience, can you share a story where, because of your safe space intervention, somebody has transformed his or her life?
I am so blessed that in the Rainbow Room I have watched so many transformations happening over the last 3 years. I've seen unconfident, scared person becoming a very confident, going out and doing well in life. But I'm going to tell you one story. I have to tell you this story. This is of a young girl. She was doing her MCom. She understood that she had gender dysphoria and she would rather be a woman. And barely 21 years old. Parents were completely shocked and unaccepted, to a point that they were almost poisoning her at home. She stopped eating food at home because it was laced. I'm not saying they were poisoning her deliberately to kill, but I believe they went to tantrics and others who give couriers, which were essentially laced with drugs. And she was a very smart girl and she understood. And she stopped eating food at home. So it was such a hostile environment. And she would come to Rainbow Room, still dressed as a boy, with a short shirt and a trouser, and come and talk and be there and be very active and cheerful. And this is the struggle that they had at home. And then one fine day we do something called a puja parikrama, where we go out as a group during pujas, like hopping panels, because a lot of LGBTQ community people do not come out. They are very isolated. They just sit at home. They're while the whole city is celebrating, they're scared to come out, right? So we started. I said, "Do you want to go panel hopping?" And they all said yes. So I said, "Okay, we'll all go together." And I chose morning and not evening because I always was scared about how public will react, and I didn't want them to face anything. So we said, "We'll do it in the morning. It's a question of us doing it." And then they were all excited, and then she comes and asks me, just 1 week before we were going out on this puja, it was a Navami day. She said, "Can I bring a dress to wear?" I said, "Of course, why not?" And so she brought a very pretty yellow dress, which she brought in her backpack. And she came to a meeting point in the cafe, and then she changed. And she looked so beautiful. And then we went out on a walk. You should have seen the happiness on her face. That whole gender dysphoria that she was struggling with. And she was in a dress. Forget the whole world around them. And I took so many pictures of her in this puja panels and this. And she was out of her mind. That. And it also made it very clear that yes, what she felt was true. Right? It was the validation that she had at that day. And we finished the thing, we came back to the cafe and we were having lunch. And then I said, and she said, "Ami, after wearing this, how do I go back to my shirt and pant?" She said, "I can't get out of this. This is who I am.
This is who I am.
And I love this." And I said, "What do you want to do?" And she used to take a local train back home. She said, "I'm not going taking this. I'm going to go in this." I said, "Are you sure? Change back." And she said, "No, I want to hold on to this." And I just hugged her and she left, in that happy, in that thing. And I was so tensed. And after an hour, I was checking with her, saying, "Have you reached home safely?" Because that was the first day. She went with all of us, and then she was protected in a safe space. And she said, "You know what?" Sure enough, she got molested on the train. the first day that she chose to wear this and she realized, and her strike was to fight back. And I was like, damn, you need to learn how to protect yourself. First protect and not fight. And I was, believe me, when she was telling me, I had tears coming down my eyes because the world is cruel outside. Okay, and while that pleasure that she had in a safe space, when you moved out of that safe space, she still had to face the hostile environment, right? So it also, we learn from these to create programs that can help them. So that got me triggering into what kind of programs I can do to prepare them for the hostile environment, because I can't change the world. I can give them the space, but that transformation they can carry safely into the larger world, right?
I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, so
I still get goosebumps when I think of it.
So this is really, really an inspiring story. So I would want to say that in our own capacity at Searching Soulmate, we also want to give that same space that you are trying to provide, through our hobby clubs, as I have mentioned many a times. There is an expert advisory cell, there is journaling, there is one-to-one communication. All our efforts, go in to prove that loneliness can be less scary and expressions can be more real. I would also like to share a story. In the last 2 years, we have had many offline programs. Though we are a tech company, but we, very strongly, advocate that, real connections happen when you meet someone in person. Take advantage of the technology, but make that connection, outside of the phone or the laptop.
Absolutely.
So we have this, many programs we have. The best way, as I said, is connecting through hobbies. So in one of our customer meets and hobby clubs, now people meet each other. One mother with her child suffering from cerebral palsy made, connection with an expert. So today they are not only, have a professional relationship because of the child, but also a personal relationship. She goes and talks about, the mother goes and talks about, this expert and how it has helped her, that brings a very, what do I say, stronger and very reaffirming kind of a connection. And then we have had, a ladies' beat. Okay, we proudly call it Sari Not Sorry. Okay, where there was a professional tarot card reader, a healer, and she said she was like so joyous when she came here. She said, I'm going to do a free reading for all of you. So taking that from the other ladies, IT professional like you, she ensured that, she introduced her to a lot of other people who were looking for this alternate science kind of a medicine, because nowadays it is all about knowing yourself better. So people have come and told us, like when we before coming to the meetups, they feel that, কিরকম হবে এই মিটিংটা, হ্যাঁ আবার কাজকর্ম নিয়ে কথা হবে, but they were aghast when they came here during our festive addas that we conduct, that কাজকর্ম নিয়ে কোনো কথাবার্তা নেই. It is all about hobbies, what we like to do, who are we. So slowly, steadily, we are trying to make this, change in us.
And I want to thank you for doing this, because nothing beats, and I'm telling this to especially the young people or anybody. You might think you're connected digitally, but human connections are face to face.
Absolutely.
And the space that you provide, the physical connections, the space that we provide, where you come and meet people, a lot of barriers go away.
So, having tried to provide space in our own ways, what advice would you like to give someone who is, hesitant to join a community like Searching Soulmate or even Rainbow Room? I don't think that people come, break your doors and come gushing.
No.
It does not happen,
No.
right? So what advice would you like to give them so that they feel accepted?
Try and trust the space. I know as an LGBTQ person, you may be scared. You are scared of what you're going to face because you faced a lot of rejections. You have faced very hostile environments. So that is which is there in the back of your mind, which makes you fearful and hesitant. But give it a chance, right? Because these kind of open, safe spaces, there are people trying to make sure that there is no room for hostility, that you are made welcome, and there is a non-negotiable stand on anything that is othering. So give it a chance. Maybe this is a place that you will find your world. So give it a chance.
Okay. One message, okay, you would like to give to our listeners today to remember or take into consideration when it comes to inclusivity.
Be kind. Kindness. We've forgotten kindness. Every human being, we can just hold them with kindness, hold that space with love. Forget love, just dignity and respect, right? Just be kind to every person, every human being.
Sorry.
And we transform the world.
এটা আরেকবার repeat করো। অনেকক্ষণ ধরে কন্ট্রোল করার চেষ্টা করলাম, হলো না।
So I start with the kind
question.
আমি কোশ্চেনটা আবার করবো?
এই মেসেজটা ম্যাম
তুমি আগে দেখে নেবে, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ,
মানে হয় না ট্রিগার হয়ে যায় তখন
পরপর পরপর চলে আসে। এটা তো আমার অ্যালার্জি বিকজ এসি জন্য। Okay, so one message you would like to give to all our listeners today, what they should remember, what they should take into consideration when it comes to inclusivity.
Just be kind. I mean, kindness is one of the greatest virtue, and we let it go, right? So whoever you meet, every human being, if you can treat with kindness, respect and dignity, the world can be a better place for us.
So now we will have a rapid fire with you now. Tell me one book that changed the way you look at people.
I know why the cage bird sings, my Angie.
An LGBTQ film or series that you recommend that everyone should watch.
Brokeback Mountain's Heartstopper
Okay, Brokeback Mountain is available in Netflix. Heartstopper
is also on Netflix.
in Netflix. A small act of kindness you will never forget.
Okay. I have got many kindness, but one, I was barely 22 years old, away in US as a student. My father fell ill very critically, and I was flying back. Of course, a student, no money. I mean, worried. No cell phones in those days, and I was tense. And the person sitting next to me was an elderly person, and who asked me, "You seem tense," and I said, "This is what it is." And the kindness and gentle care that the person showed me throughout the flight, covering me with blanket, making sure I get, hot tea, hot thing, coaxing me to eat, even finding me a place where I could go and lie down. Random stranger, bless her soul, wherever she is.
So, what's your favorite hobby that helps you unwind?
Cooking
What
and
is-
feeding people. Okay.
What's your favorite cuisine?
I cook everything under the sky, whatever my time.
Okay. One thing people misunderstand about inclusivity.
No one misunderstands.
Okay.
No one misunderstands. They just don't want to open up a space that they are very comfortable with.
Okay.
They are happy in their cocoon. They think I'm fine. I live with my privilege. I don't need to open up. Till it comes and hits them in their own family. That's when they start realizing. Till then, so I doubt if people really misunderstand. They don't misunderstand. They just care not to open their hearts sometimes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very, very much for being a part of our podcast, for sharing so many insights. I hope whatever you have said, whatever we have communicated today, our conversation reach millions of people. They open their mind, they open their heart, and make this place, world, if I am allowed to say, that why are we even discussing about inclusivity? It should be one safe space. So thank you very much for helping many people and us understand how to make that space.
Thank you, Sunilita, for inviting me here. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I think, yes, as you just said, if the world was a nice, one, open, happy space, none of the DNI programs could take it. Thank you.
Thank you.